Hello, hi, namaste, and welcome back. So, the discussion for today is weed management. So, we will start the topic. We will try to complete this video with this chapter in three video. So, the as per the syllabus in UPSC CSE, two headings are there. Weeds, their characteristic, dissemination, and association with various crops, their multiplication. And the second heading is cultural, biological, and chemical control of weeds. So we'll try to finish the first topic today, that is weed, their characteristic, dissemination, association, various crop. So the PDF will be shared in the Telegram channel. So the green highlighted portion, those have been asked in the UPSC CSC examination, and the yellow highlighted have been asked in OPSC CSC examination. Okay. So when we click in the PDF in the content page, will be redirected into the text directly. So let us start. So the first thing is definition of weeds. So definition is any unwanted or undesirable plant growing in a place where it is not wanted, or the weed is a plant where it is not desired. Then characteristic feature of weeds. So weeds have prolific seed production. As we can see, one weed that is Amaranthus species have around 1,96,000 seeds per plant. Then vegetative reproduction, seed dormancy, longevity, and viability, wide seed dispersal. So these are the factors responsible for long persistence of weed despite taking up several weed management practices. Then some other characteristic features are there. Okay. Then harmful effect of weed. So weeds have harmful effects with respect to crop, with respect to human health, with respect to livestock, with respect to aquatic organism, with respect to others like land value, forest, pasture. So when we are talking about crop, how would affect the crop actually, both in quantity and in quality. So in quantity means the yield will be less, and in quality means various parameters that will be reduced. Like here, as we can see here, moisture stress forces grain to shrivel, and sugarcane quality is reduced by striga litura. So likewise, similarly in animal husbandry, we have seen that milk gets off smell, wool quality is reduced. In human health, one weed that is Argemone mexicana, that can cause blindness in human, and dropsy disease. So when this is Argemone mexicana can contaminate mustard actually. So when the mustard oil and get contaminated with Argemone seed, then dropsy disease can occur, that can cause blindness in humans. Similarly, weed menace in aquatic ecosystem. One we know Eichhornia cruciferis that actually created havoc in many aquatic ecosystem in India. Then menace to forest and pasture land. This Parthenium hysterophorus. This is prevalent in many areas, in the roadside area to many area in India. So question has been asked for management of this weed particularly. Then benefits of weeds. So not weed can be managed. We are not responsible to eradicate weed always. Sometimes they can be used in green manure, sometimes they can be used in composting medicinal value. Then we'll go for classification of weeds based on morphology. Broadleaf weeds, grasses, sedges. Sedges we know these have triangular stem like this, like Cyperus rotundus, Cyperus stiformis. Okay, so broadleaf weeds are mostly dicot, and the grasses are mostly monocots, though some exceptions are there. Then on the basis of ontogeny life cycle, some are annual, some are biennial, some are perennial. Okay, in biennial, as we know, they live for 2 seasons. In the first year they go for their vegetative growth, and in the second year actually they are reproductive stage occurs. Okay, Then just we can say like cabbage, cauliflower, carrot, like that. Then perennials live for 3 or more years and seed more than once in their life cycle: cypress, rotunda, sorghum, jalapeno, sanadon, dactylon. So these are mainly actually problematic weed, very obnoxious weed. Then on the basis of association, we will discuss this in detail little time later. So on the basis of association, that can be season bound, that we can be crop bound, then can be crop associated with. Okay, we will discuss that later. Then origin of weeds. Some weeds are indigenous weed, some weeds are foreign weeds like Parthenium hysterophorus. This actually brought from North America. So actually during the PL 480 program, just after independence, when we imported many wheat grains and other grains, so actually this weed got also imported from that. Then some words invasive alien weeds, okay, like Parthenium hysterophorus, Salvonia molesta. Then site of predominance, uh, based on their location, we have divided the weeds. Then soil reaction, some are saline soils, alkaline soils, acid soils, okay. Then propagation or multiplication of weeds. So weed can be multiplied through sexual reproduction or asexual reproduction and vegetative reproduction. So through seeds, we have already seen some likes um, one weed we have seen 1,96,000 amaranthus, 1,90,000 seeds per plant. Okay. So then asexual reproduction, that reproduction does not occur here or fertilization does not occur here. So some are these are the some of the examples. Then vegetative reproduction. So reproduction by rhizomes, rootstocks, okay, runners, stolons, sucker. So we have seen that Bermuda grass, that is a common weed, Cynodon dactylon, that actually creeping type of weed. Okay, so we have seen this is if soil, so the weed normally goes parallel to the soil. Okay, so that's a runner. There are some stolon, sucker, offsets are there, tubers. Okay, in Cypress rotundus, suppose this is soil. So if we uproot Cypress rotundus, we can see some nodules like structure here. Okay, tubers actually those are Cypress rotundus. Then balls, bulblets. Okay, then stem and root are also there. Then dissemination and dispersal of weed. So dissemination through weed, water, and animals, main. So these are some of the examples. So as we can see, winds. So dispersion through wind is called anemochory. Another term we have also seen anemophily. Actually, this is pollination through wind or with the help of wind, but this is actually anemochory means dispersal. Okay, so as we have seen pappus means modification of calyx into hair, as we can see here, pappus seeds. Okay, in several asteraceae family, particularly in commos also, seeds covered with special hairs. Okay, similarly we have to remember at least one example in all. Then feathery persistent styles. So here we can see feathery persistent styles. Some balloons like Physalis minima, okay, balloon like structure or encloses the fruit. Okay, so that can be actually transported through wind or air. Example is ground cherry, that is Physalis minima. Similarly, wings are also there. Then water, Acornia typha. Then animals, endozoochory, when birds or animals actually eat that fruit, the seed actually pass through their abdomen and later they excreted. Then that can actually be a dispersal through animal. That can be a way for dispersal. Then epizoochory, similarly myrmecochory. So the here ants will be help in dispersal. Similarly, main farm produce manure and silage by management, human management. Okay, humans role in weed management. So basically we also help in dispersal of weed. Then persistence of weeds, as we have seen weeds, how weeds actually persisted through many years. So these are some of the factors that affect persistence. Similarly, survival mechanism, seed production, dispersal with weeds, we have discussed through wind, water, through animal, through human, etc. Then dormancy will deal this in more detail. Then vegetative reproduction we have already seen. Then crop weed association. Why association is there? Because weeds and crop, their climatic needs sometimes are similar. Seed size, seed germination, tillage needs, cropping and harvest practices are there. These are mostly similarity. That's why this crop and weeds get associated. Similarly, these are some of the crop and their associated weeds. Okay, then the association can be, association can be of two types. One is bound and another is crop associated. Crop bound and another is crop associated. So crop bound means season bound. Okay, so those actually are restricted to a particular season, that is summer or winter. Okay, so the like Phalaris minor and Avena fatwara winter season annual. So as wheat is also grown in this winter season, so these weeds are common in wheat crops. Similarly, crop bound weeds. Crop bound means normally the parasitic weeds, that is Orobranchia and Striga are root parasite. Similarly, Dodor or Coscuta and Loranthos are stem parasite. Okay, this is complete and partial. Then crop associated weed. Why weeds are associated with crop? Because they need specific microclimate. Okay, as we can see here, Chicorium intibus, that requires shady moist conditions similar as Borsim crop. Okay, so climate similarity is there, so these crop and weed are get associated. Then ready contamination with the crop. So when the weed seed mature at same time and same height, okay, then it contaminate the crop. Similarly, mimicry. Mimicry means these weeds look exactly like crop morphologically. Okay, morphologically similar we can say. So like Echinoclea colonum in rice, then Avena fatwa and Phalaris minor in wheat. So we cannot distinguish between the weed and our crop in the particularly in the initial stages of the crop. Similarly, vegetative or phenotypic mimicry. Some weeds tend to grow to the height of winter grains and adjust their ripening period. Okay, so vegetative or phenotypic mimicry example mostly are important. Then seed mimicry. Seed mimicry means the size, shape of the weed seed is similar to that of crop seed. Okay, example is Avena sativa seed, similar to oat seed. Similarly, Chicorium intibus resemblance Borsim seed. Okay, so many times during harvesting, we cannot recognize the weed seed, and the admixture can happen easily. Then chronological mimicry. Chronological mimicry means the weeds have same height and ripening time. Basically, the vegetative and reproductive stages or timing coincides. Okay, like Phalaris minor in wheat. Then biochemical mimicry, a weed associated with a crop being controlled by herbicide, okay, may develop resistance to that herbicide, okay, and behave like tolerant crop. Okay, so that is biochemical mimicry. Okay, so mainly seed mimicry, and then phenotypic or vegetative mimicry, okay, and some association due to microclimate. Basically, three things are there. Then crop with competition. Okay, so in competition, before competition, so first the term is actually interference. Interference is basically with competition plus allelopathy. Allelopathy. So this competition is actually indirect effect and the allelopathy is direct effect. Okay, so as we know, competition is for survival and existence. So competition actually for above ground matter, above ground resources, below ground resources. Okay, so as we know, below ground like nutrient, water. Okay, so the above ground is solar radiation. Okay. So these have been written here, and CO2 also. Okay, so nutrient, the normally the weeds absorb mineral nutrient faster and in larger amount. Okay. So for water also they transfer more water, or their consumptive use is more. Okay. And they also can take water from more depth. Okay. So some example are important here. Then competition for light also. So as weed can grow faster, so they have actually shading effect on the plant, so photosynthetically active radiation actually reduced. Then competition for CO2 similarly. Then actually, this weed competition is particularly in the early growth stages of the plant. This weed competition is more serious. Okay, that means from seedling to tillering stages. Okay, then competition is actually higher between the plants that have similar morphology or growth habit, as we have already seen in crop association, crop weed association, that similar morphological and growth habit, those have actually intense competition. Like in cereal we can say grassy weeds are actually more problematic. For example, in pulses, broad leaved weeds are more problematic. Okay. And the crop yield losses is particularly more during the critical period of crop yield competition. Okay, if we have a graph like this, so if this is actually yield of crop and this is actually duration or growth stage, so we can see that. Hmm, okay, so we can see in these particular uh, okay, in this particular phase, if no treatment will be provided, or if we will go for unweeded condition. Okay, or this is a control condition, means we are applying no herbicide here, then in this particular duration of crop growth stage, the yield is lost maximum. Okay, so we have to control weed particularly up to these stages. Okay, so this actually stage is called critical stages of crop growth, critical stage of crop weed competition, and this is approximately one fourth to one third of the crop's growing periods. For example, if a crop has normally 120 days life cycle, then the uh, critical period will be around 30 to 40 days of growth phase. Okay. Similarly, weeds or crop density. If the crop's density will be more, okay, then weed will get less chance to um, less chance to create problem there. So as we know, smothering crop like say um, cowpea. Another smothering crop is horse gram. So these actually cover the ground very quickly. So the weeds get less chance to create problem there. Okay. Similarly, plant species effect, weed species. So at early growth stages, this cocklebur is a better competitor with crops, being a fast growing plant for leaves shed other plants. Okay. Similarly, in crop species, as we can say, between barley, rye, wheat, and oat. So the barley actually is more barley have more competing ability because it has fast canopy development. Okay. Similarly, we have seen the varieties which have higher smothering effect, that can actually, smothering means that can cover the ground in a quick time. Okay. So that varieties, those varieties have more competing ability. Okay. So these are not much difficult, can be easily understood through one's reading. So critical period of crop weed competition we have already seen. So the critical period means during which weeds can grow without affecting the plant yield up to a point, after which weed presence starts to affect the yield. Okay, it is the shortest time span. This is important. Shortest time span in the life cycle of the crop when weeding results in highest economic return. As we have seen, during this phase actually the yield is drastically reduced. So when we control these condition, then we will get highest economic return. Okay. So example of critical period. Okay, as we can see in upland direct shaded rice, the critical period is more compared to the lowland one. Okay. But one drawback is that after the critical period, so we are focusing more on the critical period, but after the critical period also, they can create problem, okay, and reduce the yield also. Similarly, allelopathy is a direct effect, as we have seen. Allelopathy effect on allelopathy means um, the harmful effect, okay, most normally direct effect by one plant on another plant, okay. So one plant on another plant. So the one plant can be weed, the another plant may be crop, another plant may be weed, okay. Similarly, the first plant, if it is crop, then second plant can be of crop also, weed also, okay. So the allelopathy, how the chemicals are mainly the organic chemicals: benzoic acid, cinnamic acid, phenolic acid, okay. Some examples we can write here, okay. From maize, so leaves and inflorescence of parthenium species affect germination, seedling growth of maize. As we have seen, when parthenium is growing in those area, other weeds are also not grown there. So that is because of the harmful effect or allelochemicals released by parthenium, okay. Similarly, effect of weed on another weed, effect of crop on weed, okay. Then stimulatory effect, okay. Then some related terminology. Then dormancy is a state which a viable seed fails to germinate, okay. The seed is otherwise viable, but due to some unfavorable condition, okay, the viable seed fails to germinate even under favorable condition. Condition is favorable there, still the seeds cannot germinate, okay. So it is a resting period or development suspended. So types of dormancy: innate dormancy, primary, inherent, and natural dormancy, okay. So innate dormancy is mostly two types: exogenous and endogenous. So exogenous is mainly due to seed coat, maybe the seed coat are hard or impermeable to water, and mechanical restriction will be there. Similarly, endogenous is endogenous primary dormancy, that is physiological, mainly due to rudimentary embryo, okay. And so the as we have seen, innate dormancy is the most common dormancy, and between these two, exogenous and endogenous, the endogenous is more common, okay. Similarly, induced or secondary dormancy, so this is due to sudden physiological changes in seed because of adverse environmental condition, okay. So when the condition will be normal, then that seed can germinate. Similarly, enforced dormancy followed by absence of germination factor. Okay. So see, if the wood seed is say is planted in very larger depth. Okay. So it cannot get the temperature, optimum temperature or light or layered light that is required for germination, oxygen, moisture. So this is called actually deep placement of seed is actually enforced dormancy, okay. Deeper placement we have seen here, okay. Since wild oats, that is Avena fatwa, exhibit all three types of dormancy. So how can we overcome the dormancy? One is mechanical scarification, okay. Seeds are rubbed either in sandpaper or mechanically. So immersion of seed in boiling water. Then chemical scarification, okay. Some acids, this is hydrogen peroxide, okay. So these are used actually. Then that actually what actually does, then it degrade the seed coat. Then natural scarification is also there. Then temperature treatment, pre-chilling or stratification, that is due to the endogenous factor like embryo development, rudimentary embryo we have already seen. Presence of some inhibitors are also there, they can be removed by the cold treatment. This is called pre-chilling or stratification. In when we will read seed science, we will also come across these terminologies. Then growth regulator, then longevity and fate of weed seed, okay. So I think we have completed the first part, okay. And most of the questions, previous year questions, we have also we can come through this text. So kindly, if any doubt persists, kindly comment in the comment section. Thank you.